Although Seoul is undoubtedly becoming a more multicultural city, as of late 2011, less than 3% of its 10.5 million residents were foreigners. Among them, two-thirds were ethnic Koreans from China. These numbers reveal a surprisingly homogeneous capital 130 years after William Elliot Griffiths' book Korea, the Hermit Nation was published. Nevertheless, if you're in search of a multi-culti fix, don't despair. What follows are 4 snapshots of foreign footprints in Seoul. Let's start with Itaewon. Some etymologists think the word Itaewon alludes to the foreign soldiers who stayed behind after a failed 16th century invasion. Although the American military retains a significant presence in the area, it's the new waves of foreign civilians that are keeping Itaewon among Seoul's most diverse neighborhoods. Case in point, since 1976, the Seoul Central Mosque has been a focal point for the city's Muslim community. There are an estimated 130,000 Muslims in Korea, with about 800, mostly of Arab, Turkish, and South Asian descent, partaking in the White Mosque's weekly prayer services. Not surprisingly, some of the city's best Middle Eastern restaurants can be found in the vicinity. Our next spot is a sacred patch of sod in western Seoul's Mapo district, which inters the remains of about 550 souls from 7 nations. The cemetery was established in 1890 to bury the American missionary John W. Herron, who died of dysentery at age 34. Other prominent residents include 3 generations of Underwoods, the missionary family who founded Yonsei University. The cemetery's best epitaph, however, belongs to the American Homer B. Hulbert, whose tombstone reads, "I would rather be buried in Korea than in Westminster Abbey." Next up, since 1995, Seoul's resident Filipinos have gathered from 9 to 5 every Sunday on the sidewalks off Daehangno's Haehwa-dong Rotary. After Catholic Mass at the neighborhood church, they come rain or shine to sell canned soups, sauce packets, and sizzling deep-fried lumpia. Although a cold San Miguel beer is no longer hard to find in Seoul, where else could you purchase Mamacita's guava soup base or the durian, a spiky fruit deemed the king of stink? Recently, cross neighbors and city officials had threatened to close the vibrant spectacle, but the cheerful tenants persuaded them otherwise, which means the boisterous spectacle may continue for many Sundays to come. We end our Waeguk walkabout in southwestern Seoul. Although the city has never had much of a Chinatown, in 1999, ethnic Koreans from China and post-Soviet nations were allocated special visas to do the country's 3D jobs, dirty, difficult, and dangerous. And as a result, about 40,000 Korean Chinese have created an itty-bitty and admittedly gritty Beijing in Gurogu's Garibongdong. One of the neighborhood's best places to eat is Sampal Gyojagwan, located beside the Jonghap Market. Good luck finding it unless you can read Chinese, but here's a hint, look for the phone number. And once inside, enjoy perfect pork tangsuyuk, a crispy, chewy, sweet, and spicy masterpiece, or some piping hot eggplant gajiyori with crispy bell peppers and carrots. Well, there you go, 4 suggestions for multicultural Seoul. But that does it for this edition of Seoul Scene. You can follow me on Twitter at Discover Korea. Thanks for watching. I'm Matt Kelly.